And I want you to go really big with these goals. People, often feel like, oh, I should be realistic. I shouldn't ask for too much. That's so normalized to us, but that is not the way you want to be with your future self vision, with goal setting. I always look at it like this. If I have a client that I'm working with and maybe they make $8,000 a month and they want to make $10,000 a month, I would always kind of advise them to actually set that goal higher. And the reason is, well, if you're already making $8,000 a month and you want to make $10,000 a month, then the kinds of solutions people come up with are like, well, I'm just going to work a little bit harder. I'm going to, maybe extend my hours. Maybe I'll increase my prices a little bit. Nothing groundbreaking, right? But if you were to set a goal to make $25,000 a month, then you have to rethink everything. Then you have to think about, well, how would I do that? I'd have to scale my business. Maybe I'd have to hire someone. I'd have to stop trading time for money. I'd have to start leveraging what I know. In order to get there, all these different kind of problem solving things are to come up. So it's the same with you. People will kind of be like, well, I just want to have this and I just want to have a roof over my head. That's fine. Having gratitude for simple things and what you have is massively important, and I commend you for that. However, if you really want to change your life, you've got to create goals that are big, that are exciting. There's a book by Grant Cardone called 10X, and the whole kind of like premise is just to like 10X everything. And the thing is, if you set your goal 10 times more than what you want, you're more likely to get 10% there and get what you actually wanted than you are if you just set the goal at 10%. Because of kind of what I just described, it's that problem solving, it's the going in that direction, Maybe you decide, maybe you're like, well, I really only want $100,000, but you're going to set the goal to become a millionaire, and then you'll get maybe 30% of the way there, and you'll make $300,000, and you might be thrilled with that because what you actually really wanted was less than that, and now you've gone further. But if you just set your goal to make $100,000 and you only get 30% of the way there, well, that's only $30,000, which is not a lot of money. So don't be afraid to go big. And a lot of times when we're being realistic, I always think realistic is the dream crusher word. It's when I used to teach dance, kids would come in and they'd be so excited and they'd have this vision for what they wanted to be, and then all of a sudden it would change one day when they'd be in their high school years. I'm like, what's going on? I thought you went to, be a dancer or be an artist or like do this thing or whatever. And they'd be like, oh yeah, well, I've got to start being realistic. I need to get a job and start making money. And that doesn't come from any teenager. That only comes from the parents. But that's what we're taught. I remember this time when I was with a partner and he asked me what I really wanted, and I described this extraordinary life, and then I thought about it afterwards, and I was like, no, I'm just a dreamer. My head's in the clouds. I shouldn't want all that. I just need to be realistic. I should just settle down and be happy with a house. Well, I settled down, and guess what? I was miserable because that extraordinary life is a true heart's desire for me. And it's not about that you have to want something that's, subjectively or objectively extraordinary. But it has to come from you, what you truly want. And if you diminish your dreams because you think that that's what you're supposed to do, you won't be fulfilled by them. So create this vision of what you truly want, because after going through, being miserable, I started to dream really big, and I am well on my way to that extraordinary life, and I couldn't be happier. It feels like, I finally become the person that I've always wanted to be, that I always knew that I was capable of. And it's literally because I've been doing all of these things that I've been teaching in this course. So I want that for you too. So please do dream big. Do not be realistic. Get that word out of your vocabulary. You're going to have an unrealistic reality. That is the goal for us.